Travis Hunter is one of the best college prospects we have seen in the NFL in a long time and arguably ever. And this is because of his ball skills, his ball tracking ability, the fact that he's able to play both sides of the ball at insane rates. During the Heisman debate, we talked about snaps aren't a stat. But really, when you think about it, snaps are a stat. Being out there on the field for the entire game, having teams have to game plan around you on both sides of the ball is not a small feat. Having the cardio and being dynamic enough to do both sides of the ball every single game is a real thing, is a great trait to have as a player, and a reason why we saw the Jaguars trade up to the second pick and give up so much draft capital to get a player like him. You look at the high-end plays that he makes, the quick burst ability, the laying out diving interceptions, the contested catches. He had a 95% catch rate on balls that was targeted to him. He was fifth in the nation in receiving yards while playing both ways, along with being tied for second for the most touchdowns in all of college football. Tied with a guy who right now is probably the consensus number one wide receiver in all of college football, Jeremiah Smith, who played 3 more games than him because he was in the playoffs. Now, obviously, Travis Hunter does have injury concerns. We saw him miss time throughout his career in college with injuries. And partially, I think part of that is because of how many snaps he's playing per game, along with the fact that his frame is as small as he is. He's definitely on the skinnier end for receivers and for corners. But you look at some of the top receivers and corners in the NFL on the defensive side of the ball, I think of Sauce Gardner, someone who is easily a top 10 corner, arguably top 5, who has a very light frame and still makes high level plays and still has really good production at the NFL level. On the offensive side of the ball, you look at a guy like Justin Jefferson, a top 2, probably top 1 receiver in the NFL, who has just as much of a light of a frame, maybe a little bit more mass to him. But we tend to see guys year to year put on mass in the NFL. Guys like Marvin Harrison, for example, is the most recent example. He's put on significant mass from year 1 to year 2. And I think we could see that with Travis Hunter. But at the same time, when you want to play both sides of the ball, you have to really get your cardio to the right point and to the right place. And I think we'll probably see the snaps go down for how often he's playing both sides of the ball in the NFL, just because it's more of a brutal style of football and the players are better. And the hits you're going to take and the tackles you're going to have to make are definitely going to be harder and wear and tear on the body more. But I still think Travis Hunter can put in the work to get the cardio, to get the strength, to be able to play both sides. I am a little bit worried about the injury concerns, of course, especially at this next level. But I think if he can play enough snaps on both sides of the ball at a 12 to 14 game a year pace over a 10, 12 year career, we could see enough high-end plays, enough production that both sides of the ball combined, he could be a Hall of Famer, no question, right? But this video is about how he could produce and become a Hall of Famer at 2 positions, something we probably haven't ever seen done before. He has the talent to easily do it on both sides, and that's why we see the risk taken by the Jaguars. And I think with the Liam Cohen and Trevor Lawrence, someone who has pretty high-end traits as a quarterback, who was taken number 1 overall, who has shown that he has high-end level quarterback talent in the NFL level, can combine together to put up insane production and numbers at the NFL level. Trevor Lawrence likes to test the deep balls, likes to test the contested catches with his receivers, go up and get it, high point the ball, and that is what Travis Hunter is the best at. Obviously, he has to compete with Brian Thomas, someone who had a top 5 rookie season as a receiver, but a lot of the attention arguably will be on Brian Thomas. So this opens up a big opportunity for Travis Hunter, along with the defensive side of the ball. We've seen good corners come through Jacksonville. Jalen Ramsey, of course, comes to mind. And I think with having a pretty solid defensive line in Jacksonville that can quicken up, that can cause the quarterback to hurry and make split decision throws and test those contested throws against Travis Hunter deep down the field, I would bet my money on Travis Hunter coming down with the ball a lot more often than the receivers, and at least a lot more often than the other corners that we see in the NFL. And when you combine all these things, right, when you get to the end of his career and you look at the interception production, touchdown production, the yard production, that's where I could see the case being made for him to have these stats and to have these opportunities to be a Hall of Famer at the end of his career. And not only on one side, but on both sides of the ball. Now, most people believe that he will end up only playing one side of the ball, but I've never seen a player so determined to continue playing on both sides of the ball like Travis Hunter is. Now, it doesn't happen very often, right? He won the Heisman. That wasn't by accident. He did something that has never been done before in college football history. The last person to have come anywhere close was Charles Woodson, who had way less production on the offensive side of the ball than Travis Hunter did. Now, I know it will be hard for Travis Hunter to reach this feat, and it's a very bold prediction, and I understand that, right? But I'm here to make that case because I really believe in the talent that Travis Hunter possesses. I really believe in the situation that he's in, the work ethic that he has, and the clear cardio that he has, and the ability to play the entire game without really losing a step at all is really remarkable and something that I hope we can see turn into arguably the best career maybe ever from a single player. Now, obviously, the accolades of any player aren't going to be there realistically. You know, a Brady where you lead the NFL in every single quarterback stat ever, along with having 7 Super Bowl rings, right? Now, that arguably is the best career ever. That probably won't be passed. But from a single player aspect of really what they can do for the team and how much they put out there on the field and the production on both sides of the ball is really what it comes down to when I say he could have the best career from a single player that we've ever seen. And I know that's what Jacksonville is hoping for, and that is what the team made that risk for, right? To trade away all those assets for someone who hasn't proven anything in the NFL, but that is what the draft is every year. They've given up a bunch of assets that could really come back to bite them. But I believe that won't be the case, and I believe Travis Hunter will have the production on both sides of the ball. I think he will get his body in shape to not have those injury concerns. Obviously, it's the NFL. Injuries are going to happen. A year where he might play 2 games is probably going to happen. But if he can play 10, 9 seasons, both sides of the ball, healthy seasons, I see no reason why he couldn't finish his career with a Hall of Fame resume on both sides of the ball.